Yes, good morning and welcome back to the Football Tribe UG channel. Robert Kesakos is your usual suspect. Welcome back to yet another live broadcast on your favorite updates, football updates channel. It's good to be back this beautiful Monday morning. It's about it's about 26 minutes past the hour of 9 a.m. and it's good to be back. And yeah, we'll once again be talking about the latest from the world of football, from the world of transfers, particularly because there's plenty that is going on. Lots of news happening over the course of the night and over the course of the weekend. So we'll be looking to wrap that up and much more. I will continue to engage on your teams and what we think, how they will look technically, tactically, depending on what your questions may be or what your input to this debate or to this conversation will be in the course of it. So yeah, let's just get it locked on the Football Tribe UG channel. Otherwise, I wish to say thank you to all our new community members, every single one of you that joined our broadcast last night. It was really, really a pleasure to have you guys around. You made the conversation worthwhile. I think we're on for about an hour and 20 minutes or so. Very, very fruitful conversation. Like I said, apologies on everything that did not go right, especially when it came to our sound and other things, but we'll continue to work towards correcting those things. Anyways, allow me, have our audio tested before we get into the thick of this conversation this morning. Otherwise, there's plenty to discuss. And, as the headline says, that Marcus Rashford arrives in Spain ahead of Barcelona Medical. There's only one place for us to start. There's only one place for us to start because that's a huge move for both Marcus Rashford, for both Manchester United, but also for Barcelona in some formal shape, depending on how you look at it. But before we get started in the conversation, I want to say thank you so much to Rodrigo Hala Madrid Star. Thank you so much, Shiwan. Thank you so much, the Ascent Code. Thank you so much, Agafonov from Russia, Kat Huggins, and every single one of you that was with us last night for yesterday's broadcast. Thank you so much. Brandon Kandal says hi. Can you say hi to me already? I'm bored. Hello, Brandon. How are you doing? Good to have you in the broadcast this morning. Good morning. How are you doing? Where are you joining us from? I'm Chinese. Can you say hi? I've already said hi. But thank you so much, Brandon, for being with us this morning. It's a pleasure to have you on the channel. Kindly like the broadcast. Do me that absolute honor and favor and like the broadcast. But also, if you're new here, guys, kindly subscribe to the channel and help your boy on his way to 2,000 subscribers. We're still at 1,400 and counting. This my parents' username. My real name is Emily. Okay, Emily, whichever your correct name is, quote unquote. Thank you for being with us this morning. I was just giving out my special shout outs to all those that were part of last night's broadcast. LFC was with us. Thank you so much. Who else did I miss? I think there's somebody I missed. And every single one of you that managed to catch last night's broadcast. A very, very fruitful conversation we did have about Real Madrid, about Manchester United, about Liverpool, the possibility of, Real Madrid signing Ibrahim Konate, Alexis McAllister or Enzo Fernandez, and the possibility of Vinicius Junior leaving Real Madrid, and things of that nature really. So it was a very healthy and fruitful conversation last night. And thank you so much, every single one of you that was a part of it. For those of you that are just joining us, do me the absolute honor and favor and like the broadcast for the purposes of this, a morning broadcast. My name is Robert Kesakos, and I'm coming to you live from Kampala, Uganda, where we are streaming from this morning. It's a beautiful and chilly calm, little bit cloudy morning down in Kampala. It's a calm weather. It's not as bright, it's not as sunny as it oftentimes is, but we will hope that sooner or later the sun will be out and shining. I have my own YouTube channel. That's good to know. That's good to know. Brandon, I hope you do succeed in whatever it is, the content that you do deliver to your audience out there. I wish you the very best of luck in your efforts on that front as well. So, but like I said, there's only one place for us to start, and that place is none other than Spain, because that is where Marcus Rashford did arrive last night to complete, ahead of completing his move to Barcelona from Manchester United. Okay, so yeah, he did arrive in Barcelona to complete that medical, and yeah, I do not think there will be any hiccups whatsoever. Laflik, hi Laflik, how are you doing? Good to have you. Hi Jamaica, hi Jamaica. You're from Jamaica. Good to have you on the broadcast. It's always a pleasure to have a new member from a different part of the world. Thank you so much, Lafrik from Jamaica, if that's where you do hail from. But like I was saying, Marcus Rashford, there were clips of him arriving in Barcelona to complete his medicals. That was, last night, and he will be undergoing his medicals ahead of being a new Barcelona player. It's a move that the manager Hans Flick has given his blessing to, or his green light to. But like we said, Marcus Rashford was not Barcelona's top target or top priority in as far as this transfer window is concerned, because there's initially they wanted to sign Nico Williams, who was released close at the time, was 58 million euros from Athletic Bilbao. That move was not able to yield to fruition, but the player ended up staying at Bilbao, even signing a new very long-term contract that runs until June 2035. Then they moved on to their second best target, which was Luis Diaz of Liverpool. Unfortunately for them, it seemed a little bit like they had soiled their relationship with Barcelona with Liverpool when Deco openly talked about Luis Diaz before they even approached Liverpool formally to inquire about what it would take to sign the player, even though Liverpool maintained all summer that the player is not for sale. But also, given in the wake of Bayern Munich's turned down offers for Luis Diaz, Barcelona concluded that the deal will be too expensive for them to do, and that's why they moved on to Marcus Rashford, for which is a loan deal with an option to buy for 30 million euros. You ask, what's my name? I said my name is Robert. Thank you for asking, Brandon. I'm going to be talking to you the whole time because I'm staying up all night to wake up at 5 o'clock. That's Brandon. Okay, thank you so much. It's showing, but I've been waiting. Okay, thank you so much. Anyways, so like I said, the deal is structured in such a format that it is an initial loan for Barcelona with an option to buy, and for the option to buy will be for 30 million euros at the end of his first year with Barcelona. So let's wait and see as they look to wrap up that deal. The expectation is that the player will be earning in the region of 14 million euros per season, and he did agree to take a pay cut of about 15%, according to Fabrizio Romano, for him to facilitate that move to go through. So let's wait and see. We can only wish Marcus Rashford the very best. That's a 27-year-old England international who has not had the best who has not had it the very best of the last two seasons in as far as what his quality and what his capabilities are in regards to what he is capable of delivering at the end of the day. So let's hope that fortunes do change for the better for him. It won't be a walk in the path. I must be honest. Barcelona is a team that gets a lot of publicity, so that comes with a lot of pressure. It's literally under the microscope from the media, lots of criticism on player performance, on managers, and everything to do with that line. And so it's never an easy place to be, and it's never an easy team to play for. But I think he is a player with his seniority and experience can cope with that pressure. Then also, it won't be a walk in the park in the sense of walking into that starting 11 because as we saw last season, Barcelona have quite the squad, especially when it comes to those forward lines. Robert Lewandowski, Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, Ferran Torres, Dani Olmo, uh, Fermin Lopez. So breaking into that mold for players that were highly effective last season won't be that easily achieved. Emily says, I changed my username. Why did you change your username? Why did you change your username? But it's good to have you on the broadcast. So that's the situation with Marcus Rashford. My expectation is that things should go smoothly as far as his medical is concerned, and then he signs as a new Barcelona player. This is a deal that went on really fast because it went on really fast because Barcelona only approached Manchester United over the course of the weekend. Priya Lifestyle, hello Priya. Priya, your name sounds as though it is from India. Are you from India, Priya? Good to have you on the broadcast, and good morning. Welcome to the Footballtribe UG channel. Then Emily says, because you kept calling me Brandon and I do not like it, I changed my name. I only read what your tagline says. I cannot assume any name whatsoever. So completely understood if that's your view on that. But apologies if it rubbed you the wrong way, but I could only read the name that was available to me. Guys, kindly like the broadcast. I can see there's more of you on the broadcast than the likes, but also consider subscribing to the channel if you're new here and help support your boy Robert to 2,000 subscribers on the channel. So, in as far as Marcus Rashford is concerned, that's the situation for him. He did arrive in Barcelona to undergo his medical to complete that loan move from Manchester United to Barcelona. Let's wait and see how it will come to fold for him. Then quickly, still staying with Manchester United, Brandon Bomo did complete his medicals over the weekend and put pen to paper on a 5-year contract with an option to extend for a further year. The 25-year-old Cameroon international will be joining Man United from Brentford in a deal worth a total of £71 million, and that is £65 million guaranteed plus £6 million in expected add-ons. He becomes Manchester United's second signing of the summer after Matthias Cunha, who did join the club from Wolverhampton Wanderers for £62.5 million. And then, of course, the new face also in there is that of Diego Leon, but that one was signed in January, and only that he was left at his then club for the remainder of the season. And then also, that means that at least 3 additions for Manchester United. Ruben Amorim still hopes that they can make at least 2 more additions to that, Manchester United cohort, and primary or central to them in their aspirations is a striker. And speaking of strikers, they have added Benjamin Sesko to their shortlist to that radar because they do want to sign the 22-year-old Slovenian striker from RB Leipzig, but it wouldn't come cheap because Arsenal tried to sign him. Those talks did not really progress well because apparently RB Leipzig are not willing to budge on their asking transfer fee, which is believed to be in the region of 90 million euros. So then the other candidate that they are monitoring is Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea. I've already given my thoughts about Nicholas Jackson and what I do think about that. I know majority of Man United fans disagree with some of my views when it comes to Nicholas Jackson, but I do appreciate them as well. Yesterday we had Nichi Fen on the channel, and we were having a negotiation. Not a negotiation. We were having a conversation, a discussion, a debate about Nicholas Jackson and why I thought if it boiled down to Nicholas Jackson versus Moises Kean, Jamie Vardy, Cam Wilson, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, then for me, I would go with Nicholas Jackson. However, if the decision boiled down to between Nicholas Jackson and Oli Watkins, who also Manchester United have on their shortlist, then it should be Oli Watkins that wins that race. Because despite being 29 years of age, I do think he is the kind of player that Manchester United needs. I do not think they need another 22-year-old of a prospect for a striker to come and try and hack it in the Premier League. I think they need somebody with a little bit of more experience, somebody that the likes of Chido Martin Obi, the likes of Rasmus Holland, Joshua Zaxi, if they were to all be retained at Manchester United during the course of this summer, that can learn from. So, and in terms of being Premier League ready, I do not think there's any striker at the moment that comes more ready than Oli Watkins. Of course, if speaking about Premier League experience, then of course you would add players like Alexander Isak, but Erling Haaland, who we all know those ones are not going to make the switch to Manchester United at the moment. Okay. Emily says your dog died. Apologies on that. Dan, can you answer me now? Because I'm trying to tell you I'm sad. I responded to that. Okay, you don't kinda. Can you answer me? Because I said apologies on that. I think I've responded to that. If it is true, I know some people come and cook up stories on the broadcast, but it's all good. Anyways, so those are some of the names that Manchester United do have on their shortlist for strikers. Nicholas Jackson, Benjamin Sesko. This is a player they tried, to approach about 12 months ago. At the same time, when Arsenal were equally trying to sign him, then also Arsenal tried to go back in January. Again, things did not work out. Apparently, they went back during the course of this summer, and it did not happen for them. It did not really happen for them. So let's see if Manchester United can throw their hat in the ring, and we see what they can yield for purposes of those negotiations. We can only wish them the very best. I think then the other player that is also been mentioned and is Rando Kolomwani. That's the Paris Saint-Germain striker who they signed quite expensively, although it didn't work out. He was sent out on loan to Juventus, did have a bad spell. So multiple Premier League clubs are looking at him, including Man United, as well as Newcastle. Then also, this one has been only mentioned in wishfulness. Joan Philippe Mateta, the 28-year-old French striker at Crystal Palace, who scored 14 Premier League goals last season and provided 2 assists, while the campaign before last, he scored 16 Premier League goals. So he is one of those that have sort of been mentioned around the circles of Man United. But like I said, it's more wishful from the fans than it is from the insiders at Carlington. So, but yeah, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see how developments will come about at Manchester United in as far as strikers, as far as the pursuit for strikers is concerned. Then quickly, let's run to Chelsea, where Mamadou Sarr has returned to Strasbourg. That's the 19-year-old French centre-back whose father is Senegalese, had joined Chelsea from their sister club of Strasbourg, but he is destined to return back on a season-long loan. So let's wait and see. Last season we had 2 Chelsea players on loan at Strasbourg. That's the goalkeeper in George Petrovic, as well as Andre Santos. Chelsea are also interested in signing Strasbourg striker Emmanuel Mega, although that has not really progressed in the last couple of days. Let's keep waiting. Then also Ivan Ferguson did arrive in Roma yesterday ahead of completing medicals to become a new AC Roma player on an initial loan worth about £7 million with an option to buy. I'm being told it's not an obligation, it's an option to buy for about 30 million euros, around that fee. Let's wait and see how things will be in that respect, in as far as Ivan Ferguson is concerned. In fact, the loan fees is expected to be around 3 million euros, not £7 million. Apologies on the misquotation of those figures, while the buy option will be for 37 million euros. In other words, what Brighton and Hove Albion are seeking is a total package rising to 40 million euros. Should a deal go all the way 360, completing a loan, if it's successful, then Roma can look to make it permanent. Otherwise, if they are not interested after a season-long loan, then the player can return to Brighton and Hove Albion. Then the other player that could leave Brighton and Hove Albion is Pavis Estupinan, the 27-year-old Ecuadorian international Left back is of interest to AC Milan, even though Manchester United are the other team that are also interested in learning his services. And when fit, I think he is one of the very best left backs that you could, talk about in the Premier League. Of course, in the brackets of, Andy Robertson, Milos Kakes, maybe Miles Lewis Kelly, Ryan Ashnory, Marco Cucurella. So, a fully fit Luke Shaw would be in the same bracket. So, Pavis Estupinan, I do like the way he goes really, really forward, especially when it comes in the final third. He tends to make very good decisions. Although I think the last 2 years or so have really, really hampered him with injuries. He's been troubled with injuries. So things may not have really, really worked for him at the very best. But Pavis Estupinan is a very, very likable character in a Brighton jersey. Yes, it was actually, particularly last season, but that was 2023-2024, because he only managed to make 19 appearances in the Premier League, scored 2 goals and provided 3 assists. And then the season before that, he had a 6-goal involvement, in which he scored 1 goal and provided 5 assists. The last season, he made 30 Premier League appearances, 1 goal and 1 assist, which wasn't really, really good. So you can see that his form has dropped in the world ever since returning from that, troublesome injury. But he can, AC Milan want him as a replacement for Theo Hernandez, the French defender, 27 years of age, who left the club to join Al Hilal in the Saudi Pro League. So they are looking for a left-back replacement, and they are considering Pavis Estupinan as their preferred candidate to replace him there. Let's see if Maximiano Allegri will get it his way if he can learn the services of Pavis Estupinan. Then also, more importantly, Federico Chiesa was left out of Liverpool's squad for pre-season as he explores or as he is expected to leave the club this summer. He does love the city, he does love the club, but like I keep saying, this is a World Cup year. It's a year it's going to be a season at the end of which we will be going for the 2026 FIFA World Cup that will be played in Canada, Mexico, and the United States of America. So all players that do feel that they ought to find a place in their respective national teams, they are seeking moves to see if they can get regular playing time. And Gennaro Gattuso, that's the new Italian national team manager, said just as much that they do really like Federico Chiesa, but he needs to find more consistent playing time. And I think you and I can agree that he cannot get it at Liverpool, so he has to seek a move away from the Reds to find a place where he can play more consistently if he's to guarantee himself, being in that Italian national team. Then also, Luis Diaz is not part of the squad for the friendly game, but that was, I think, was it their friendly game against Stoke City, which they won by 5-0. It was a behind closed-door game, so he wasn't part of that. Cody Gakpo provided an assist for Federico Chiesa, by the way, in that game. So anyways, Luis Diaz, again, Bayern Munich continue to push to try and sign him. They're expected to make another offer to Liverpool in the excess of 70 million euros. Let's wait and see. Once that offer does come in, we will be here to let you know of the very latest from that angle. Then also, Galatasaray are seeking a move for Victor Osimhen worth a total of 75 million euros. It has a 10% sell-on clause on future profit. It has a clause that he cannot be sold back to any Italian side in the next 2 years or so. At least within the next 2 years, the player did agree to a 3-year contract that will see him earn anywhere between 15 to 18 million euros per season. Very, very good addition. He was with them last season on loan. And Dylan Ash, good to have you back on the broadcast. Kindly like the broadcast, but welcome back to the channel. It's always a pleasure seeing you around, my brother. So thank you for sparing a moment of time to be with us. So, okay, who was I speaking about? Apologies on that. Yes, Luis Diaz. The expectation is that if they can find, the player has told the club that he wants to leave this summer and he wants to join FC Bayern Munich. If they can find an agreement, then he will be expected to leave Anfield, which means that Liverpool will have to throw their hearts back again in the ring and find another winger. And among their options is Newcastle's Anthony Gordon. Malik Fofana has been added to that shortlist. That's Malik Fofana of Olympic Lyon. Then Bradley Bacola was on that shortlist, as well as Rodrigo Goes. But let's wait and see how things will transpire, because at the moment it looks increasingly that Rodrigo Goes could stay at Real Madrid. It looks like Bradley Bacola won't be leaving PSG because he's been a target for many teams, including Arsenal as well as Bayern Munich. But PSG are adamant that he is not for sale. Anthony Gordon from Newcastle, a bit of a sticky one, but let's wait and see. Then maybe Morgan Rogers, although Aston Villa say that's their crown jewel, they're not looking to let him go. Then quickly, another player that is sort of made significant news in the last couple of days has been Xavi Simons, linked with a potential move to either Chelsea or Arsenal. Both teams are interested in the 22-year-old French in the 22-year-old Dutch international services. A very good player, formerly at PSG, had a stint with PSV Eindhoven, and is currently at RB Leipzig, where they signed him permanently in January, having been with them for a season and a half on loan. Then also, Manchester City goalkeeper Ederson Morales is a target for Galatasaray. Galatasaray are looking to add a goalkeeper to their ranks. Initially in the summer, they approached Ederson. They approached Alisson Ramsey-Becker, but he turned them down. And then they also approached apparently Marc-André ter Stegen, and in the wake of the fact that Barcelona had signed Joan Garcia, but yet also Volkswagen also put pen to paper on a 2-year contract. So that means Barcelona have 3 literally number 1 goalkeepers. Of course, Volkswagen, having been recalled out of retirement, is happy to be perhaps on the bench and be a support character, with all his experience and that kind of thing. But Andres ter Stegen wants to be the number 1 goalkeeper for the German national team ahead of the FIFA World Cup in 2026. So he wants his playing time. He is the captain of the club. So let's wait and see. And last I checked, Joan Garcia was yet to be registered. Shadow49K. Hi. Good morning. Good to have you on the broadcast. Shadow, where are you joining us from? Emily, you didn't let us know what country you're joining us from this morning. I would be interested in knowing that country. But thank you for being with us this beautiful morning. Then quickly, okay. I think we've highlighted most of this. We've spoken about Marcus Rashford, Victor Osimhen. We've spoken about Ederson Morales, Federico Chiesa, Luis Diaz. Then also, Como are on the verge of completing a deal to sign Alvaro Morata from Galatasaray. Alvaro Morata will become a new Como player from AC Milan as soon as Victor Osimhen rejoins Galatasaray. Now, the conditions for Galatasaray to break Morata loan deal. Now, remember, he is to Galatasaray on loan from AC Milan. So that's where there's a break, but as soon as Victor Osimhen is confirmed, then they will look to let go of Alvaro Morata to head to Como. So Cesc Fabregas is hell-bent on landing his services. That's the Spanish striker, Alvaro Morata. By the way, he's one of those players that is played for only big teams: Real Madrid, 2 stints, Juventus, AC Milan, Chelsea, Galatasaray. Como will be the first small team that he may have played for, as far as my memory serves me. Anyways, let's see. Briefly, okay. Then Mikel Arteta has been speaking to the media while he's in Singapore. Remember, Arsenal did fly out on Saturday for their Singapore tour. They do have a game to play tomorrow, but that's on Wednesday. They will be up against AC Milan. in Singapore, and then on Sunday, July the 27th, they will play a game against Newcastle before playing another game in Hong Kong that will be on July the 31st. So he has been speaking to the media, and he was asked about Victor Gyökeres, and he said, I cannot comment on players that are not yet part of our group. And for me, they keep what there was yet. So it means it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of when, not if. Let's wait and see as negotiations between Sporting CP and Arsenal continue to complete a deal for Victor Gyökeres. Over the weekend, there were multiple reports from Spain that apparently Victor Gyökeres' father ended up in tears because of his son's proposed move to Arsenal being dragged on. Also, Mikel Arteta says he's excited by the signings Arsenal have already made, but more needed. In terms of numbers, we are short. We have to improve the depth and quality of the squad. We are constantly looking in the market. Those were his exact words. Remember, Arsenal are expected to sign an attacking midfielder on top of a striker. They are expected to sign a left winger. Let's wait and see if they will be able to achieve all that. And among some of the players that have been linked with the potential move to Arsenal is Morgan Rogers from Aston Villa, Xavi Simons, Rodrigo Goes. Then you have players like Ebelechi Eze, all linked with the potential move to Arsenal. Let's wait and see if Arsenal will firm up that interest and learn any of their services. Then okay, so let's wait and see. He also spoke about Noni Madueke, saying the player having been with Chelsea for that for the FIFA Club World Cup, is currently on holiday. He's needed more rest, so we get into that. Then also, Liverpool did agree a deal for Hugo Ekitike worth 95 million euros as total package. That's in guaranteed fees and expected add-ons, respectively. We are waiting to see that deal sealed in the coming days. Then a former Manchester United defender and ex-Aston Villa player, that's Eric Bailly, has joined a Saudi side, Al Najima. That's according to Fabrizio Romano. Look, I didn't know Eric Bailly was still bowling. One of those players famously under the Jose Mourinho era at Manchester United. Anyways, this is the latest transfer gossip and speculation as of this morning from some of your favorite clubs. Manchester City have set their price at £35 million for England midfielder James McAtee, with interest from clubs such as West Ham, Eintracht Frankfurt, even Nottingham Forest have been mentioned in that conversation. Let's wait and see. Apparently, Real Madrid are happy to wait out to sign French and Liverpool defender Ibrahim Konate on a free next summer, but may offer a lower bid this transfer window. While a 9-figure Saudi contract for Brazil and Real Madrid forward Vinicius Jr. has been apparently taken off the table, but could be available again in 2026. That's according to AS in Spanish. Real Madrid are also keeping an eye on Arsenal defender William Saliba, while Leeds United want a bidding war to ensue for Spanish forward Mateo Joseph, 21, in the hope that they can raise funds for a move to sign Brazil's forward. That's Rodrigo Muniz from Fulham. Meanwhile, Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim wants to bring in more signings in this transfer window. That's according to the Mirror. United have also put in a bid, apparently, for Sporting Lisbon's Victor Gyökeres, but those reports are wide of the mark. What Fabrizio Romano did tell the rest of the world that deal brokers in the deal for Victor Gyökeres had apparently given Man United the roadmap to hijacking the move, but the player is only interested in the move to Arsenal. We've spoken about Brandon Mbeumo completing his medicals. We are only waiting an announcement for Manchester United for the Cameroon international. Tottenham Hotspurs retain interest in Ilya Zabani. That's the 22-year-old Ukrainian centre-back from FC Bournemouth, who PSG are equally interested in. Nottingham Forest afford planners to sign English midfielder Jacob Ramsey, 24, from Aston Villa, while Sunderland have pulled out of a deal to sign 26-year-old French forward Amand Laurenti from Italian club Sassuolo. So that's a part of the latest from the rumor mill, from the gossip mail. Then also Kyle Walker-Peters completed his move to West Ham, put pen to paper on a 3-year contract as a free agent, having part ways with Southampton at the end of his contract. Then Manchester United remain in pursuit of Royal Antwerp goalkeeper. That is Sene Lamens. Yes, Sene Lamens. I hope I pronounced that well. Then also, besides Villarreal, Neom SC in the Saudi Pro League, the other team interested in signing Axel Disasi from Chelsea. Let's wait and see how things will be developing on that front as well. But movement is expected to continue in this coming week as we draw closer to the start of the Premier League season. Every single day that passes by, I would draw closer to the start of this. I don't know if you guys have been able to catch glimpse. If you guys have been able to catch glimpse of Florian Wirtz in those friendly games for Liverpool. I mean, it just looks impressive. Very unstoppable player. Quick on his feet, very good pass of the ball, and more. So, yeah, very, very impressive. Looks like Liverpool have quite the game on their hands in as far as we are concerned going into next season. Then also, apparently, some sources did indicate that Christian Mosquera's medical had issues, but they will look to complete that move. While the Hand of Arsenal reported that there were issues with his paperwork, but that nowise they will be looking to complete it to conclude everything in the coming days. So let's wait and see. And this is according to Tribunal VCF on X. They say that on Saturday it was reported from England that Mosquera had experienced complications with his Arsenal medical, but some issues confirmed this was not the case, and the player had completed all the necessary medical procedures and was simply awaiting official approval. So we're still waiting for an announcement from Arsenal on that Christian Mosquera deal. Then Manchester City have made an approach to sign Diego Costa and are considering submitting a 60 million euro offer to FC Porto. That's the goalkeeper, the Portuguese goalkeeper, Diego Costa. However, to the best of our knowledge, is that they do want to sign back James Trafford from Burnley, because they do have a buyback clause worth £40 million for the 22-year-old English goalkeeper, who is a primary target for Newcastle in their hunt for a goalkeeper this summer. Although Newcastle have been a bit unlucky with all their pursuits, or with most of their pursuits, when it comes to the top priorities. They lost Joao Pedro to Chelsea. They wanted Liam Delap. He ended up in the same direction, even though Man United were equally, interested in his services. Then they were pursuing Brandon Bomo. He chose Manchester United over everybody else that was interested in services. They were able to land the services of Anthony Langa. They went in for Hugo Ekitike. Looks like Liverpool is winning, has won that race. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see how things will come in the next coming days. This is according to Nicolo Shira. Nicolo Shira says Pavis Estupinan has an agreement in principle with AC Milan for a contract until 2029, 2 million euros per year plus bonuses, with an option to extend to 2030. The left back and his agent George Mendes are pushing with Brighton to close the deal with Milan, which is going to submit a new bid. So that it is with the expectation is that AC Milan will submit a bid to Brighton and Hove Albion to sign their Ecuadorian left back in Pavis Estupinan. Anyways, quickly, I think it's become frustrating a bit for Arsenal fans. Emily says I'm back. It's become a bit frustrating for Arsenal fans in the wait for Victor Gyökeres, but there's nothing you can do about that. All you have is to be patient and wait this thing out and see what things will look like. By the end of the transfer window. Of course, it's an ideal situation even for the manager, Mikel Arteta, who had wanted the player to be part of their pre-season tour so that he gets to, blend into the team and see how he fits in and everything. So we can only wait and see, really. Anyways, guys, it's been a pleasure doing this with you this morning. Thank you so much, Emily. Thank you so much, Shadrach. Dylan Ash, thank you so much. Priya Lifestyle, pleasure to have you. Brandon Kandal, thank you so much for being with us this morning. It was worthwhile while we did this together. I wish you a very fruitful week. I wish you a very wonderful rest of the day. I'll be back here maybe for the last time our sports updates and more throughout the course of the day. But let's do this again later today and in the night. But the last hour broadcast will depend on if there is any significant news for us to bring to you. Otherwise, if there's not, then we will look to do our broadcast late in the night, as the case always is. So stay blessed and have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day. And bye-bye for now.